today. Our special guest is Daniel Covarrubias, and Daniel is the director of the Center for Border Economic and Enterprise Development at TAMIU, Texas A&M International University in Laredo. Daniel, great to see you again.
Thank you, Steve, for having me. It's always a pleasure to speak with you and to your audience.
Yes, and so we've got some specific topics today, and I definitely want to start with a book that you produced, you authored and put out last year, 2024, but we haven't written about it yet, so we want to know more about it. This is an opportunity for you to tell us about the book so that we can tell the world about it.
Yes, of course. This book, it's called "Navigating the New Era of U.S.-Mexico Trade," and then it talks about infrastructure, technology, and the future of cross-border trade. It's a book that came out. We published it through the Texas Center, which I direct here at Texas A&M International University, and the idea was to be able to put in a very easy read format what goes on with cross-border trade, right? So it offers a comprehensive view of how U.S.-Mexico trade relationships are advancing. Now, given that it was published, like you say, it was published in September of last year. It's on paperback. You can find it on Amazon. I've been trying to give myself time to also do an ebook, and the idea with the ebook is to basically get to the end of the book and say, okay, everything you've read, wait a minute, right? Because things have totally changed since September of last year to where we're at right now, right?
Is that the case? Is that the case, Daniel? Have things changed in the last few months?
I think I think every day is it's relevant, right? And
You
and
got it.
and it's kept me quite busy, right? It's kept me writing a lot about it, and the book actually came about from all these op-eds that I've been writing on these subjects, right? So each of the chapters of the book, what I did was take an op-ed and I expanded it and I created an essay, and those essays then I put them together. I try to find relationships between all of them, and talk about the need for infrastructure, which has also changed, right? I mean, it has advanced to the point where we've seen that presidential permits have come out now for here in Laredo for the expansion of the World Trade Bridge. There's a new presidential permit for what's called here in Laredo also the Bridge 4-5 project, which is another commercial bridge. There's a presidential permit for another commercial bridge in Eagle Pass, which is the Puerto Verde global trade bridge. So I mean, those are good things that are happening with regards to infrastructure, because I mean, as we know, trade between Mexico and the United States has more than quintupled since NAFTA was signed, right, which was in 1994, and the trend just keeps going up, and the last commercial trade bridge was built in 2000, in the year 2000. So it's been 25 plus years without a commercial trade bridge, and trade has just kept on growing. So the infrastructure need is there, and that's something that I talk about in the book. Then I talk about technology. I developed a concept that I call logistics, right? And logistics is basically a play on words between logistics and technology, and it is what I use to research the impact that exponential technologies have on three aspects of trade and logistics, which is the transportation side of it, the handling side of it, and the customs clearance part of it. So there's all these technologies. Now I guess the most famous one now is AI. That also has been a big boom. But there's others, right? Like data analytics, there's computer vision, there's other technologies like cybersecurity, blockchain. So the book also gets into detail of how these technologies are changing the face of cross-border trade, and how they can be used to enhance more efficiencies, and just to create better flows of goods at the border, right? And finally, talking about this future of cross-border trade, I also talk about workforce needs at the border, right? But taking into account these technologies, particularly AI, right? So I talk in the book about how I envision the new, what I call an AI ready workforce, right? And how it has several components to it, like I call them the AI producers, which are the people that are creating all these software developments and applications and so on with AI. I used to say that they were the engineers, right? Well, not anymore, because now with all these AI apps and tools, they do the coding for you, right? So it's getting easier and easier. But I mean, there still has to be people that can work on these. Then you have the utilizers, which are people that are going to use these tools, and they have to know how businesses work, and also how these tools work, and how they can create these productivity and efficiencies and so on. And just AI aware people, right? At least people that know that AI exists and that it's doing all these things. I think we haven't gotten to the point where it's like the internet, where everybody knows about it, but it's pretty close by, right? So in a nutshell, that's the book, right? Like I say, people have told me that it's quite an easy read, especially for people that are not from the border, Steve, that don't live this day to day, that they really get a grasp, right? When Laredo, for the second consecutive year, is the most important port of entry into the United States, period, right? I mean, many people, when they talk about ports of entry, well, many people, especially people that are not from the border, they talk about seaports, right, and airports, and they have no idea about what land ports are, right? So just putting into perspective what it is like, that through a border city with two commercial trade bridges, you're crossing close to 20,000 trucks a day, right? That are going north and south. So that's impressive, and just the infrastructure that's needed for that, the knowledge, the capacity, the ecosystem, and all that. That's what I tried to put in the book to make it very accessible for people that are not from here.
Well, thank you. There's certainly, I would say, a large percentage of the population that needs that education, because we are underreported, misreported, misunderstood. Everyone living here would probably, everyone would agree with that. So it's good that you've written a book in that fashion that is easy to understand and appealing to folks living out away from the border region. So remind the viewers again the name of the book and how they can get hold of it.
Yes, the book is called Navigating the New Era of US-Mexico Trade, Infrastructure, Technology, and the Future of Cross-Border Trade, on Amazon. You can go on Amazon, type my name on Amazon, type navigating or type trade or whatever you want to type there on Amazon. They have a pretty good algorithm, and they'll pop up. It's a pretty fast delivery, like everything else that's there on Amazon. So yeah, you can go there on Amazon with my name and navigating the new era of US Mexico trade, and they'll easily find it there.